Hey, if you're in a regulated industry, something like medical devices or pharma, you know that risk management is way more than just a box-ticking exercise. It's supposed to be the backbone of your entire quality system. But what if your process is actually creating more risk? Let's dive into a smarter, more connected way to handle all of this.
So, does this look familiar? Your whole risk management plan is just living on this lonely spreadsheet, totally cut off from all the day-to-day work your team is actually doing. If that hits close to home, well, you're definitely not alone. But look, this isn't just an inconvenience. It's a massive blind spot that can lead to some really serious problems.
And this quote just nails it. The real issue isn't that it's a spreadsheet, it's the isolation, right? When your risk data is disconnected from your requirements, from your tests, from what you're actually prioritizing, it's not a living guide. It's just a historical document that's basically out of date the second you save it. Okay, so if isolation is the problem, what's the fix? Well, it's all about a pretty fundamental shift in mindset. We've got to get off that spreadsheet island and move into a truly integrated quality ecosystem. One where risk isn't some separate thing you do at the end, but is woven directly into the fabric of your workflow from the very start.
Let's just put these two side by side for a second. The old way, it's just this disconnected documentation chore that, let's be honest, rarely influences any key decisions. But a modern, integrated approach, that transforms risk into a real auditable part of the quality record, linking it directly to everything. This way, risk is actively driving your decisions, not just documenting them after the fact.
And this is just so crucial. Risk isn't just another module or a feature you check off. Think of it like a thread that should connect everything, from the very first requirement you write, all the way to that final compliance report you generate.
Okay, so what does this integrated approach actually look like when you're using it? Let's break down the process. A modern system uses a really simple, structured, and, completely auditable flow for managing every single aspect of risk.
It follows this standard, super easy to understand three-step flow. First up, you identify potential risks right at the requirement level. Then, you estimate the risk using a clear model. And finally, you control that risk by linking it directly to your tests and all your mitigation evidence. Simple.
And the estimation part, it's designed to be super simple and quantifiable. You score severity from 1 to 5 and likelihood from 1 to 5. You multiply them together and, boom, you get a score from 1 to 25 that maps directly to a clear risk level. This just takes all the guesswork out of it and gives you a solid, data-driven reason for your decisions.
Oh, and the system is smart enough to speak your industry's language. It uses what are called risk taxonomies, which is just a fancy way of saying industry-specific rule books for risk. So, whether you're in med devices following ISO 1497071 or pharma using ICH Q9, the model totally adapts to your needs, making sure your assessment is relevant and compliant.
Now this is where it all comes together. Your command center, the interactive risk dashboard. And that word interactive is everything. I mean, this isn't some static PDF report that's old news the moment you print it. No, this is a live, real-time view of your project's entire risk landscape.
And it's so easy to read. The horizontal x-axis, that's your severity. The vertical y-axis is likelihood. All your requirements are plotted right on this grid, and the colors instantly tell you where your biggest problems are. From the nice, safe green zone all the way to the critical red zone that, needs your immediate attention. But here's the magic. The real power here is that you can click on any number in any cell on that matrix. Want to see all 15 of your high-risk items? You just click it, and the system instantly shows you exactly what they are. This lets you go from that high-level 30,000-foot view right down to the ground-level details in literally a single click.
The dashboard also gives you this one crucial number, the unassessed count. This simple metric is your early warning system. It tells you exactly how many requirements haven't even been looked at yet, making sure no risks are just silently slipping through the cracks.
So, we've seen how this centralized dashboard gives you a crystal clear, real-time view of your risk. But what's the real payoff of having an integrated system? It's how that risk data actively improves every other part of your quality workflow. Let's see how that connection actually works.
Because risk is woven in, it creates this incredible chain of accountability. A high-risk requirement, that automatically signals that you need more test coverage. The system will actually flag you if that coverage is missing. And if a high-risk test fails, it gets bumped right to the top of your corrective action or CAPA workflow. It even feeds into your overall compliance score.
Okay, so we've made risk management more integrated and way more visible. But how can we make it faster? That's where an AI-powered assistant comes into play.
It's designed to speed up that initial, often really time-consuming risk assessment work, but without ever sacrificing human oversight.
And it's not just spitting out a number. The AI gives you a fully reasoned proposal for severity and likelihood, explaining why it made that call. Your team then just reviews the suggestion and can accept or reject it. It's all about augmenting human judgment, not replacing it.
So, after all this, what's the final takeaway? What's the true goal of a modern risk management program, really?
It's this, right here. You can never eliminate all risk. The goal is to build a system that lets you see it clearly, assess it honestly, control it with really targeted actions, and, maybe most importantly, document the entire process. That way, anyone, from a new team member to an auditor, can follow your logic. Now that is truly intelligent risk management.